Good morning. Welcome to Village in Motion. I'm Marcia Boyles, and I'm delighted this morning to introduce two very good people. I would say especially good people. Janet Smith is our new acting director of resident life. Janet, welcome. We're delighted to have you today.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Stephanie Rheinheimer is well known to many folks on the campus, and particularly those over in Neighborhood 1. Welcome, our social worker. Oh, no, sorry, no longer called social worker. What exactly are you called these days?
Resident Services Coordinator.
Thank you so much. We none of us can ever remember that. Welcome, Stephanie. You've been here 2 years?
Coming up on 2 years, yes.
Coming up on 2 years. All right. Well, Janet, we're delighted to have you. And what would you like to be talking about this morning?
Well, today I would like to share with you the Welcome Home Update. It's an initiative that is a collaborative partnership with sales, and the goal of this program is to really make a smooth transition for new residents that are moving in and help them ease into the life here at Green Spring. And
we all remember that that's a difficult process.
It certainly can be, and so this program is designed to help smooth out some of those ripples.
Tell me what it consists of.
Okay, Stephanie and I are going to share the description. First of all, excuse me, there's a Take Keys meeting, and that is held in the sales office. The sales team presides over that. They go through all of the signing of the paperwork and giving the keys. Then a Welcome Home representative is introduced at the end of that meeting. There are about 15 to 20 Welcome Home representatives. Some of them are resident life team members, some are the AEDs. It's a variety of folks that help with this program.
These are all staff?
All staff, Green Spring staff. So the Welcome Home resident representative then does a walkthrough with the new resident or residents, if it's a couple, of their apartment. And a checklist is reviewed, and anything that's of concern is shared with the reoccupancy department in general services.
Now, Janet, does that also include instructions on how to use something, or?
Yes, there's the general services guide is in the apartment. If not, we share that at that time.
All right, now that I have not seen before. Is that a new publication?
Yes.
Relatively new, yes. And it covers security, housekeeping, communications, transportation, maintenance.
What a good idea, because that's where so many
Everything
of the questions
you need to know.
Okay.
And I would say, if I could jump in real quick, Janet, they also, Marcia, the facilities coordinators usually try and make sure that all of the appliance users manuals are in a drawer in the kitchen. So dishwasher, refrigerator, microwave, all those are in there for us to reference.
I don't ever remember getting an instruction booklet.
A simple task, but found to be helpful, yes.
All right, well, I think this is terrific. Yes, this would have been very helpful.
And then the file of life is shared at that time, usually. And as you are aware, this is a list that the EMS team can use if you have an emergency and need to go to the hospital. This is on the refrigerator, has all your medication information and some of your medical information on it.
All right. Well, I'm impressed that you've gotten, that corporate, I suppose, has gotten so organized that we've got that information. Please go ahead.
Just to tag onto that, we do about an average of 150 move-ins a year here at Green Spring.
Is it up to that? Oh my goodness.
So that's around 10 to 15 a month. And so there are enough Welcome Home representatives to really cover that, so no one has to be overly taxed with it.
All right. Now, is there a resident also who does welcoming?
Yes, Stephanie's going to talk about that.
So after the Take Keys meeting, where that Welcome Home representative does the apartment walkthrough with the resident, the next step and involvement of the Welcome Home representative is meeting the new resident on their move-in day. And so, again, as Janet said, it's a collaboration with the sales office. They coordinate the actual move and the movers, but the Welcome Home representative stops in within their move window, just to kind of follow up on the walkthrough, make sure that there aren't any issues left unaddressed. So again, if there's something wrong with the apartment, we'll make a referral to general services or the reoccupancy team again, excuse me, just to make sure it's taken care of promptly. And then to answer onto your question, we make a quick update to them, make them aware that a resident greeter will be reaching out within 2 to 3 days. So that's where we get the resident run committees involved. The resident greeters are run by resident Sally Hoddle, and I think, Janet, you said there's 40 members on the team,
Yes.
Each assigned to different clubhouses. And I think from what I've learned thus far, typically they stop in 2 to 3 days to introduce themselves. Often we'll invite the new resident to dinner just to make sure that they feel like they're part of the community. And so that's really the move-in day, knowing it's a crazy day. It's just so they know there's someone they can ask questions of, but of course, you know, we don't stay too long because there's a lot going on. And that's step 2. Excuse me. And then the next involvement of the Welcome Home representative is a 5 to 7 check-in day. And depending on the need of the residents, could be rather simple or could be a little more lengthy depending on how many questions they might have. This is, in essence, kind of a handoff, letting them know that the involvement of the Welcome Home representative will be ending and make sure they're equipped with information, different departments they can follow up with if they have questions. So general services, dining, fitness center. We have told the Welcome Home team that if there's any concerns, to connect the resident with their resident services coordinator. So that handoff is done well for my team to be able to pick up if there's any concerns or specific questions we can help address. And then also, depending on how chatty the new resident is at this 5 to 7 day visit, there are a lot of different...
How chatty.
Chatty. I mean, some people are, you know, we're moved in, we're exhausted, thank you for checking in, but we're fine. Some people definitely are fine entertaining the Welcome Home representative for more time, and then that's an opportunity to bring up different categories. I know Janet and I were talking about things like making sure they know the medical center exists and they should enroll as a new patient.
Not necessarily a new patient, but they do need absolutely to check in with the medical center.
Right, as care path, yes, you're right, thank you. Even simple things like making sure they're getting to the dining room or they know the dining options.
And how often are they getting lost? And
yeah, exactly. And just kind of answering some of those questions, I think, is an opportunity at this visit if it seems appropriate.
One of the things that we chatted a little bit about, all of us, is the fact that there are still newcomers' lunches, and that's every Wednesday in Woodland Skies. So newcomers are encouraged to go to that as well.
It's a great opportunity to get to know people.
It really is, to get to know other newcomers, because that's one of the few times they're actually, you know, there's a mixture of newcomers and old timers. All right, I do think getting lost is one of the biggest issues. Those of us who've been around here for a long time, I would hate to tell you how many folks we meet, you know, on a weekly basis that are just totally bewildered in terms of where they are.
I'll tell you, Marcia, we usually tell new residents, you know, your first couple weeks here, if you just stand in the hallway for 5 seconds looking like you don't know where you're going,
right,
so rest assured someone will come in and give you directions.
Folks are really, you know, we've all been through it, and it sometimes lasts for quite a long time.
Yeah.
We need a GPS so they can get around through.
Absolutely, or something. Yeah, it is a difficult place to navigate. Okay, what else? Anything more that we need to be?
Just that we need
addressing?
periodically with sales, the whole Welcome Home group that participates as representatives meets with Franklin and IL Sales, and we share lessons learned. What can we do to make this better? What's the feedback from the residents?
You know, Janet, one of the things that I have heard from numerous residents is that they, when they have a complaint, after they've been here for 6 months or a year or sometimes 5 years, they go back to the sales department.
Yes.
And, you know, make their complaints or concerns known. So I think in fact, I talked to IT last week, and they told me, my Wi-Fi keeps going out. they told me to address my concerns to sales.
Oh, no.
And I thought I better tell sales this, that IT was telling folks to do that.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised. Well, all right, I see that we're being told to wrap up here. Are there any words that you would like to leave us with?
Just that we want to continue welcoming as many new residents home to Green Spring as possible.
Thank you, Janet. We are delighted to have you here. I understand that you were a nurse, are a nurse.
Yes.
I should put it in the present tense.
Yes.
That you are a nurse and that you've had background in sales and
Operations.
operations management. All right. Well, we're very pleased that you're here. We desperately do need a resident life director.
Delighted to be here. Thank you for the time.
Oh, this is excellent. Stephanie, as always, it was super to have you here.